morning. Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. I'm Nadeska here with DJ Akademiks, Wayno, and Star.
Star, what's good?
Good morning. Good morning.
What's good?
What's good?
Oh, I thought this guy want to challenge me with boxing night.
He's starting early.
Day two.
He's starting early.
But no smoke.
Oh, man. How y'all been, though? Good?
Good. Why are you glowing today? You look so happy and
I'm
refreshed.
glowing. I
must have got some rest last night.
I did get some rest, but I picked out maybe the right colors. I don't know.
Yeah, the black really brings out your thighs. Looking good,
Let's sneak this, you know what I mean? You know, thick academics,
Really,
you know what I mean? I'm
thick
saying.
academics.
Akademiks, yo.
Hey, academics look like Cole from Martin. Don't he? I look like
One
Cole.
of the best jokes I've seen, somebody say I'm shaped like a Henny bottle, which I'll take.
No, somebody said you shaped like a boneless wing. That was funny.
That is
Wow.
kind
That was funny.
a bonus. Somebody said I look like mashed potatoes. I like that too. I like those jokes actually. Though.
You gotta embrace it.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, academics, let's get into some topics. So let's start with the Weeknd. He's been teasing us. So on Instagram, he's shared a screenshot of a text message with his creative director, Lamar, asking if he should do a Friday drop. Of course, this leaves us speculating. Is it an album or is it a single? First of all, do you guys have any guesses?
Single.
Single, he's headlining Coachella, so everyone tries to drop music before they headline. So
Coachella
Star's
next
going,
month,
Yes,
yeah.
so you're going single.
I think I'll be at Coachella also. I would say single. Traditionally, you have to feed a food chain before you drop an album. A lot of people have to be into the mix and the equation. Unless this is something totally left, something new where you just say, fuck it, I'm just drop an album, bam, and I'm so poppin', I would guess a single.
Right, there's some artists like a Beyonce who can obviously drop out of nowhere. I feel like The Weeknd's a pop star at this point. Do you guys
Yachty
feel
just
like,
did it.
can he just come through with a, and how did that work out?
Yachty just did it. He just dropped an album. I think this is an album. I'm just wondering what direction he's gonna go in. On the off chance I'm wrong and it's just a single, I want to see if is he on that pop shit again?
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's now a pop star, Starboy with
He is a pop star.
super pop effort. But there is a difference between just being a pop star because the music you're making is so good that everyone likes it, and you're making music for a pop audience, right? The audience that like the up tempo, high.
So
I think he does both, but to your point.
So Beauty Behind the Madness was, I think, like a perfect blend maybe of like the pop and R&B we're used to from him, but Starboy, to your point, is a little bit more pop, a little bit more electronic. So I think a lot of people are wondering, to your point, where does he go?
I think it's a single, but he has enough power to drop a whole album. I mean, he started his career just dropping full-on mixtapes before we even got to know what he looked like.
Word.
So he's kind of conditioned his fan base for that, and now that he's so big, like I think it's gonna be a single, but he could drop an album, possibly.
But this was just an announcement on his IG page or Twitter?
It was a tease. It was
Yeah,
even an announcement.
IG.
It's a tease.
Okay,
on
just a
Instagram.
tease. I mean, again, traditionally speaking, a lot of people have to be into the mix. You don't just say, I'm dropping on such and such a day on such short notice. Unless he's that confident. I mean, he could be. You know, I like The Weeknd. He reminds me of Michael Jackson, and I know that's a stretch to some people, but that's what I see in him. You know, I like the fact that he's a reformed drug addict. I say that respectfully. Donates a shitload of money. Co-sign Black Lives Matter. I wouldn't be mad if he drops the album this Friday, but I would just be surprised. I've seen no setup. I've seen no setup on an album.
The Weeknd kind of fits into like that pool, as you were mentioning, of the artists that would be able to drop an album just out of the blue. And also, I think in this day and age, dropping it out of the blue without a single being out or working a single or whatever, I think just because it's all off streaming, everyone rushes to figure out what's hot. And I think it helped Yachty. When Yachty just dropped his whole project, didn't put out a single, people trying to figure out, okay, so what's the hot song? They actually stream the album, and nowadays it's all about consumption and just people checking it out for the first week rather than you actually having a single out and they're buying into what you got coming.
He's a brand. Like he's more of a brand than just like a artist that's trying to follow the old mold. Like he could easily just drop out of the blue. Like people are gonna receive him however, like, you know what I mean? Like, they just love Weeknd, and he always takes time before he puts out his releases. You know?
But is that a common thing now? You're
absolutely.
You're in management. You know what I mean? I would say no, based upon historical, references.
He had good sales last time, so maybe that
Great
makes him feel,
sales.
right? Almost 350K in the first week, so maybe he's feeling extra confident.
I would say no if this was like 4 years ago, but he's already like, how many albums does he have? I mean, he has about like 8 projects in total with his mixtapes, like the trilogy along with, I'm bugging, not 8, probably like 5.
Yeah, plus like the official albums. He has enough.
He has
music
enough
out
to,
that gets like
where he
that.
could just drop.
But if you were on his management team, you would co-sign just dropping an album just like
Hell
that?
yeah. Hell yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah. We talking about Weeknd here. Hell yeah.
The reason why I would definitely co-sign it is because I feel like The Weeknd, and just from what I see from him personally, he's trying to also recreate that mystique that he once had. When he dropped the trilogy, Thursday, House of Balloons, and when he dropped that, it felt like he didn't know too much about it. Now since he's become pop, again, you lose that mystique, and you know, like historically, artists, as they battle gaining more commercial success, they still trying to keep that, hey, I'm still unpredictable, like you can't really guess what I'm gonna do, and I'm still like connected beyond what you're just seeing. So I think that's one of the reasons he might drop it.
Hell yeah.
So we'll see.
I think it's an album. Well, I mean, I think it's a single, but I wouldn't be mad at a Weeknd album right now.
All right, we find out in 2 days.
I wonder if Drake gonna be on it.
Right. That's a
All right, they were doing that little tease on Instagram a couple months back.
I don't think he was doing it. I think
Well,
Drake was doing it.
Drake was
Drake
teasing
won that
it.
collab back.
We'll see
But
what
we'll see.
happens.
They work well together.
All right, so Cardi B is also performing at Coachella, so we know she's dropping her debut album, Invasion of Privacy, on April 6th. Now, interesting timing here. She just signed a management deal with Quality Control, so with Coach KMP joining, the Migos and Yachty on that roster. Are you guys surprised at the timing of this, and is this a good look for both parties?
I wonder if this is like a conflict of interest. Your management company is your boyfriend's label and management company too, which means who knows how things might go, but whose interests are they really looking out for the most? Of course, it works now, and it's a great move now because they sign or they're managing some of the most influential acts in the game on this roster of people who are managed. I believe it's called Solid Foundation. That's the management team. They manage Trippie Redd. They manage Steph London. I said that right
Good
this
job,
time.
good job.
And they manage a whole other host of artists. Cardi B clearly is the biggest one to be on the list. I'm a little bit weary when you start putting too much business with your personal. That your man's over there, okay?
So, Wayno, this
don't
is
know.
your
We'll
area
see.
of expertise, management. So what do you think?
I mean, it seems like they're just trying to keep it in the family. They're trying to keep things close because it could be hard to deal with another outside entity, but why not? Like, they're probably like, why not? Like, let's keep it all here. It could be a conflict of interest, too, because it's like, whose interests are you really looking out for? I mean, I don't know if I was managing Cardi, or because she probably has a day-to-day, they have to work with the company. Like, it's not just them managing her. It's going to be like a whole back office of people that can handle everything from administration to publishing, day-to-day stuff. I don't think it's a bad situation, but it's something we got to see play out, really.
And what do you think about the timing of this coming right before she drops this album?
I mean, it makes sense because QC is the hottest shit on the planet. Like, you got to keep fueling the fire. Like, I think it makes sense for them to all do it together because, of course, Offset's probably on her album, or the Migos is probably on her album. So
I feel like, and I mean, of course.
Hey,
Go ahead.
can I jump in? Salute to that country pimp again. Offset, we're going to keep it all in the family. But this is, objectively speaking, I think it's a bad move for Cardi B, unless in her contract she specifies the way Madonna did, the way Whitney Houston did. Certain females can't be given attention until the main female is taken care of. Everything from release dates, and there's new language in contracts I'm sure you're up to speed with regards to where the attention goes. Traditionally, it's hard managing females.
Yes.
Everything from fucking hair, makeup, wardrobe, just cattiness. We've seen Nicki Minaj change management within 1 year or 2 years, 2 or 3 times. I think it's, again, objectively speaking, a bad move. I think that if she doesn't pop off and sell the units and the streams that she thinks she should, she'll blame QC. If she does sell what it is that she thinks she should sell, then at some point she'll say, well, why do I need you taking the cut that you're taking? And again, salute to Offset, keep it in the family, but I think it's a bad move for her. Coming out of the gate right now, it looks good, but I don't think it's a good move.
And I'm going to revisit why, again, I think it works well right now. Long term might be a bad move. That's if they split. But I'll revisit what happened with Motorsport, allegedly, the running theory of what happened, right? Cardi B heard that the Migos were doing a song with Nicki, she was upset because her boyfriend is Amigo, Offset, and she is super upset that she threatens to almost break up with him. She's also mad at like her label for clearing stuff for Nicki. So it's a lot of moving parts. Then you get the Migos to acquiesce by saying you could be on the record. Yeah. But basically, it's more than just business relationship. Like she's saying, hey, I'm gonna break up with you over something.
Cattiness.
Right? Exactly what you're saying. So because of that, does that prevent the Migos from, I don't know, in the future working with someone that she might not like? You get me?
Yeah, it's a lot of tied shit.
Or are we gonna just say business is business and personal is personal?
Right. Well, I mean, to your point, it is hard to manage women, but all artists are fucking out of their mind. Like, they're for real. They're all crazy. I've never met an artist that was good at what they do that wasn't out of their fucking mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a tough road either way. But like you said, I'm curious to see how it plays out long term.
Contractual language. That's what it comes down to. She's the baddest female in the game, with the exception of Taylor Swift and others. That's a different realm. But the language, it has to specify, and I'm sure it does for her, that, hey, I need to be the #1 female. Have you ever seen language like that with female contracts?
No, I've never seen that.
They do get that deep. It gets real nasty and catty.
It makes sense for her to be, she is the hottest female in the game, period, especially with, Nicki taking a little bit of a hiatus. You know what I mean? Like, her album is about to drop. She's definitely the hottest on QC. I like the girl Stefflon Don. I think she's offering something different because she's from a different place.
Yeah.
But, it's like, what decision do you make? Do we push Cardi B or do we push all these other girls that we have more heavily? You gotta go with Cardi B. Got you.
And also, I think this is an opportunity for solid foundation to prove what they could do for an artist.
Absolutely.
Cardi just had like a Super Bowl commercial. Like, she was doing the Alexa thing or whatever it was. She's doing big things. Yeah, the Migos are popping. So of course we look at the management group to say, you guys have good assets that are popping and you could leverage them and do whatever you want, but what could they do for Cardi? So I think now we're gonna see how different it looks. How different it looks from before.
How many other females are up under QC?
I believe 2. They have Steph. Well, this is not QC. This is the management group, but it's ran by the same people.
Yeah.
Right. Stefflon Don, and then there's this other chick, and I forget her name because I remember P buying her a car on Instagram. But
You've forgotten her name already.
Yeah, she was the first lady of QC. She's actually in QC.
And I say this respectfully, you're about to see a bunch of Aggie bitches on QC.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I think Cardi's just such a big of a star at this moment. Like, Stefflon Don, like they said, is upcoming.
Exactly.
She's putting songs out, but I don't think anyone on that roster would expect to not get her to get first billing.
Right. And another thing, too, is that you gotta use, like, for me, what I used to do with a lot of my artists is I would take one of them and I would try to implement them into whatever the other artist had. Like, the key is to, the key is to have them work together.
TDE does a really good
Females?
job.
Well, that's hard, but at the same time, if you coming from a team that they're running everything, I think that she's been managed by QC this whole time, and they're just now putting it out in the press. How do you just get a Super Bowl commercial? Whoever got you that Super Bowl commercial, you're not just gonna leave them, right? It's probably been QC this whole time.
You managed any females in the past, or?
Yeah.
How'd that pan out?
Oh, I don't work with them anymore. Honestly, but it just didn't work because a lot of, and like I said, I don't want to just make it a female thing, but the females I dealt with, they just didn't understand timing, and they just didn't understand timing. But that's an artist thing. A lot of artists don't understand timing. It takes a lot for you to get an artist to understand, your time is gonna come when it's your time.
Right.
And maybe it's more convenient for Solid Foundation to be managing her now that if she does actually have a baby. TMZ reported that she's pregnant. So, you know what I mean? Hey, if she's going to be pregnant, somebody going to have to be going on road. And you want them to stay together in terms of going to shows, and you want to keep them together as much as possible, especially if there's going to be a newborn around. And if you have 2 different management teams who are on 2 different axes, they're not really caring about you guys' relationship. They're caring about how we could get the artist, whatever.
Right. How many other females are under Young Money? Well, during Nicki Minaj's reign, Young Money. How many other females were
There was Chanel.
Mm-hmm.
Flatline, go ahead.
and maybe someone else, but that's the only one I remember.
Exactly.
That's the only one I remember.
From a business perspective, one bad bitch beats 5 funky hoes. You're about to see everybody else go like that. And salute to Cardi. She's going to be the one that they will put the effort into her, full effort. But I don't think in the long run it'll be a good look for her.
All right, y'all, so Easter Sunday is coming up. Quavo is doing something nice for the kids, so he's heading back to his high school to host a flag football game. So he's going to have a few artists and some NFL players, including 2 Chainz, Offset, AJ Green, Julio Jones, and he's also going to make a big donation to the school's athletic department, which is super dope. So we have the teams here for you guys. Curious what your picks would be. So 2 Chainz coaching one team, Julio Jones another. Who would you guys pick?
Man.
I think this is a great look, if I can just say that first of all. And the reason why, it's flag football as opposed to tackle, we're talking celebrities. Nobody wants to fucking break a finger or bone, can't go on tour, lose money fucking around with this.
Even fuck up the fucking, gloss on their fingernail. Anyway,
but this is a good look. I saw Quavo throwing a football about a year ago on YouTube. He's got some skills. I think he's left-handed, if I remember correctly.
That was like Michael Vick.
Yeah. So
Of course I'm gassing. Look at this guy.
Quavo's
Look at this guy.
Yo, as soon as he said that shit, your act was like this. No.
Okay.
I look like kind of ambidextrous. I'm right-handed, I'm right-handed, but I do shit with my left. I can't do it with my right.
You just co-signing off the rip.
You should have shot at
No, but he is left-handed though.
I'm not
Quavo is left-handed.
Quavo's in his natural element. He just won, what was it, MVP at some celebrity
basketball
game?
NBA game.
He's got skills. I think this is a great story here.
Yeah.
Nobody's beefing, no tension.
Right.
I like these fun things, and I'm glad that I'm not too sure who set up. Was it Quavo?
Yeah.
Salute to Quavo for that. If I'm looking at the teams though, just trying to see who would win, I don't even know if there's a goddamn conversation about this or a discussion to be had. 2 Chainz a coach. I'm going with Team Honcho. You know what I mean? When it comes to anything athletic, it feels like Quavo has been, whether he's crossing up Tory Lanes, he's crossing up little actresses and actors at the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game, or he's just like on Instagram playing 10 different sports.
I'm going with Team Julio. I think Team Julio's got more athletes. As opposed
I'm not gonna lie.
To the rappers.
I could just be a fanboy
Smoking
right
weed
now.
and sipping lean. I'm going with Team Julio.
My man, after see my man Jacquees, and salute to Jacquees, but he got arrested in Miami for a seatbelt, and they were tossing him around like a rag doll. It was.
Right. So
I don't know if I know it's flag football. It's not really too much physicality, but I don't know, man.
Keep it light.
I don't know.
I want to go with Team Julio, but at the same time, I'm going with Team Honcho because I'm using 21 Savage as my motivational speaker.
Huh?
Yes.
We got all Savage over there.
Can you break that down?
I want to. I'm using. We talking about flag football, right? I mean, there are athletes and all of that, but it's all fun. None of the athletes are gonna be going crazy as far as how they're gonna play.
21 Savage is about 109 pounds. Right?
I'm talking about. I said as my motivational speaker. I'm talking about how I would use 21 Savage.
Okay.
I would use 21 Savage to give a speech that's gonna make the underdogs beat the athletes.
My only question is, why is Takeoff lift off the shit? He's not on the squad.
It's busy.
but we got Offset. Listen, all the Savages on.
You want more
Team
QC
Honcho.
smoke, don't you?
No, I love QC. All the Savages on Team Honcho. We got Offset over there, little baby over there. We have
Trouble,
21
though.
Savage. Yeah, salute to my nigga Trouble.
Can we make a trade? and get
However,
Trouble
all
on
I'm gonna
Honcho?
say
Y'all
is,
trying to trade teams.
all I'm gonna say is, I would pay at least $100 to watch Rich the Kid with a messenger bag fucking try to avoid people. Fuck the flags. Just put him with a messenger bag. You pull that shit off and you win. But this should be hilarious to watch.
This is a free event.
Yeah, salute to Quavo, man, for giving back, man. Salute to him for giving back.
Right, act do it for the kids.
Of course, I do it for the kids.
No, you don't.
You
Not
charge
for
the
a check.
kids. Yeah.
No. See,
I
I
can
got
charge
it
it.
fucked up. I don't charge the kids. I charge all these goddamn
You
schools.
charge the people organizing it for the kids.
You know how much budget they have?
I know, but
They
he's,
go on
he's
vacation.
donating
Somebody
to
gotta
the school.
pay.
He's not asking
Wayno
them for money.
spoke at up in Harlem for the babies
At the
for
Isaac
free,
Center.
and you asked him off the rip, did you get paid?
Hey, let me
And
say
the
this.
NYU
Listen,
too.
listen. Y'all be thinking, I'm giving away, I'm giving back. I went to Rutgers University. They had some speakers come. They brought Snooki there and paid her $40,000, and that was nothing out of the budget.
Why would they bring Snooki?
Because
sneak
they
out
have
of
money to
college,
fucking waste.
but-
It's like, yo, we got to spend this money on.
That's crazy
on
to
That's
have
just
us
other.
students.
Yeah, that's other bad decisions
So
we're
that's what I'm
talking
saying.
about.
So
Why
that's what I'm
her?
saying. Like, there's a check, man. I'm not showing up to your funky ass school just to just sit there. If it's the kids, I'll organize them to come to somewhere I'm at. But I'm
Damn,
coming to
act.
school, man. Cut a check. That's a fact.
Damn,
All right, y'all. All right, so some more feel-good music today. So 2 Chainz just dropped the video for Proud. This was on his EP, The Play Don't Care Who Makes It. Now this features YG and Offset, and it's super cute because they all have their moms in the video. Let's check it out.
Mama taught me how to get that bankroll. Mama, yeah, fought up in my loft in case the bank closed. Yeah, mama ain't have it all, we wore the same clothes. I kicked the door, I risk it off a door. I found that 4 it turned me to an animal. Got that wild low niggas when he compatible. Chop the fine and sounding just like a router love. 223 caliber, you ain't in my caliber.
Yo, could any of you guys talk your moms into appearing in a rap video? There's no chance my mom would do it. There's no check big enough to make her do that.
I just tell my mom to stop commenting on my Instagram page. I'll try to keep my mom away from this life. You feel me? Just because, and by the way, this is a very brave move because you know how men, like even if you sign up for this life, I believe I signed up for this life. So whatever you say about me or whatever happens, you signed up for. But like, shit, when you put your mom on camera and you put her in a music video, even though it's for fun, right?
Yeah.
But like people gonna criticize like your moms. And I know for me, I don't want to see that shit. That's why I told my mom, I said, Mom,
Yeah.
I'm going to block you because you know what? If you get on my page arguing, I don't care that they dissing
start
me. But
flaming
somebody
your
say something
moms.
about you, now I'm upset.
I mean, I wouldn't care about people saying jokes about my mom. I came up in the yo mama joke era, like.
But saying it to your mom though? Like,
Yeah, I mean, not directly to your mother, but I'm just saying, like, I came up at a time where that was the first joke somebody said when you came to school. They joked on your moms. But I think that this is very, very dope because I always say that rappers, you know, they talk about how they love their mom and how much they love their kids, and they just never implement them into that narrative. You know, like to get their moms, like YG got his mom rocking a red bandana, they throwing the bread. Like, I think this is dope. I like the shit.
I think it's cute, you know, cute video. Their mothers are reciting their son's lyrics.
Right.
But is it a classic song? I don't think so. Dear Mama by Tupac still resonates with the nation, still resonates with me. But this is cool. It's fun of the times. I don't think it's gonna be a classic song though, but you know, they're very brave for putting their mothers out there, as you just said. Very brave. Because you know, everybody's attacking everybody.
These guys
Talking
jokes.
reckless.
Imagine somebody make a meme of someone's mom, man. Like that get you like a meme with you get it, but meme with your mom, you get
I mean, the thing is that you gotta be comfortable with who you are, and you gotta like. The thing is that they're artists. There's not much shit that they've gone through as far as being criticized that they haven't heard. Like somebody saying shit about your mother. As an artist, you gotta know that your life is public life now. They're gonna say shit about your mother, your kids, your girl, your foot if you break it, whatever. Like,
I think certain things out of bounds. You know what? And even putting people out there, a lot of people, they protect their private life. Like
Right.
I don't really post no pictures of my brothers, my cousins, or whatever.
Right.
Because I remember when I started getting some type of notoriety, I posted a picture with a girl, and yo, they were roasting her. Like she was really a pretty cute girl, but they were calling her thought, all that, and like she was like super mad. So I'm like, you're not prepared for what comes with all of this. But in terms of those women who, by the way, salute to all their moms, they have a lot of charisma to get this off. I don't know if that's
Absolutely,
them
yeah.
naturally or they rehearse for a little while, but Offset's mom looked like Offset kind of got all that cooking in the kitchen, like a stir-fry swag from her.
Easy.
No, but like they seem like very charismatic, and sometimes you wouldn't expect that. You think the mom is like the laid back person
Right.
who was usually telling their son like, oh, chill, don't do this, whatever. But they were turned up too.
And to your
Like,
point, Star, about like the Dear Mama reference, I don't think that that's what they was going after.
Right.
Like I mean, Dear Mama, like everybody loves that song because the way that Tupac said it, it made him feel like he was talking about your mother.
Resonates.
You know what I mean? It's like no matter what, like even when he says crack fiend, you always was a black queen. Even if your mom didn't do drugs, you just like the way he said it, you
Right.
could feel it.
Right.
But I just think they was just having fun.
Totally different.
Yeah, it's just having fun and shit. Because they talking gangster shit on the record, and they having fun with their mom. So salute to them. Yeah. Salute to all the mothers.
But for other people who are not popular as these guys are, and you put your family members out there, as you just said,
Right.
there are different rules and regulations by way of the internet where they can become known as public figures. And if people do attack them or say something that is malicious or vicious toward them, you can have a hard time defending those actions because you did indeed put them out there
Right.
for the world to see. So it's a little tricky if you're not, famous. But this was cute, it's fun. I applaud it.
Yeah.
And one of the things I always love seeing, especially when it comes to Christmas time, is when rappers. And I know some people like, why videotape it? I love when a rapper get his mom a car. That's
Yeah,
like
that's
motivation.
dope.
Because
Yeah.
when I do stuff with my mom, I feel real good about it. So I could only imagine how good their mom feels about them getting them like a house or whatever. And it's usually, I remember I seen Kodak Black, like, I think his first accomplishment, like his mom cried. And
Yeah.
like
Yo,
for me, it's
That
touching.
too. Remember Tyler the Creator when he won? I think he won Artist of the Year at the Video Music Awards or something, or Best New Artist. And his mom was just like in the stands, like just cheering for him. I mean, these type of things is wonderful because it motivates up and coming artists. Also, like when you get to see I was talking some shit on live, and somebody was like, do people just do shit for promotion? And I'm like, their lives are public lives. Whatever they do, if it helps somebody and they show it, who cares? As long as after the camera's off, they didn't take that shit back. You know what I mean? Like, if it happened for a reason, I mean, by all means.
And we talk a lot about respect women or whatever, but like a lot of rappers, like they hold their mom. Like I was talking to X, right? And X, of course, he's raised by a single mom, and he said he's like my mom, and this might be like a fucked up way of how, but I think a lot of black men, they kind of have that. He's like, I'm the man for my mom. Because she kind of raised me, and now I feel like I have to like take care of her. If you get what I mean? So not on some weird shit, but like that's the sentiment. So to see all these dudes like kind of boosting up their mom and whatever,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And I think it's just gonna motivate even younger people, younger mothers. I think we're gonna see a bunch of videos of people doing like challenges to this with their kids, just having fun with it.
That's the first time I seen Chief Keef mom. Chief Keef mom was in a video, it wasn't a music video, viral video, and she was lit. She was lit, man.
Chief Keef mom's, she been up on the internet talking reckless.
Yeah. She been out here.
And salute to Chief Keef. He's singing now. You know about that, right?
Yeah, Chief Keef.
Singing with the piano, trying to get some more life out
You
of
can play piano?
No, someone was playing the
Oh,
piano
okay.
as
I was
she
like,
was
that's
singing.
lit. Okay.
I was about to say, if Chief Keef plays piano.
Acoustic drill music. What's the
told
problem? I love it.
Acoustic drill music.
All right, so on to a classic rap debate. Here's an interview Logic did with Hard Knock TV where he declares himself the best rapper alive.
You say that you're the best rapper alive. Do you believe that?
Yeah, at the mic. So like when I'm recording or I'm performing, of course I'm the best rapper alive. It's like, duh, you know what I mean? But it's like, come on, fam. Away from that, I have so much to learn and grow, and I'm a student of hip-hop just like I'm a student of life, and it is what it is. But it's like, look at all the greats. Look at all the greats, and myself included when I say that in music and in hip-hop. It's like Kendrick is the greatest alive, right? You hear him talking that shit. Drake is the best alive. Wayne is known for being the best rapper alive, and Jay-Z and M and all. I mean, it's what you do. When you rap and you're at this level, you talk that shit and you have fun with it. Yeah.
He has a good point, right? Every rapper has to feel
At the
and
mic.
believe that they're the best rapper
At
alive.
the mic. But if I can just say this, I'm starting to dislike him. I just, I don't know what the whole thing is with him and Joyner Lucas, but he's got what I consider to be the corn factor. He just sounds.
Was he smiling too much for you in this video? Is that what it is?
He sounds corny. That's just my opinion. He's made some
Is it because
music
he speaks proper?
No. He doesn't have a great fucking vocabulary. It's not that. He just sounds corny saying shit. I said I'm starting to dislike him. But yeah, he said at the mic. There's nothing wrong with him saying that. A lot of people say they're the greatest at the mic. But again, I don't know what the issue is with him and Joyner Lucas, but maybe Joyner Lucas has got a fucking point. This guy's starting to
You know who he
sound
does
corny.
remind me of? He reminds me of the person in college that would always fuck up the curve, man. Like, this nigga he gets 99 while we all getting 60s. So the teacher's like, y'all just dumb, he's smart. Him saying he's the greatest rapping, of course, it's the rapper self-confidence. You're supposed to believe that. Now, if you're trying to get us to believe it, we could really have a discussion, but he doesn't seem to care if we believe it, as long as he thinks in his mind while he's on the mic. But he's saying what every rapper should kind of say, right? And I'm not mad at that. What I do believe, I think he's one of the greatest when it comes to doing interviews. These interviews he always does, they always trying to go viral. Like he never like misspeaks or like says something like you're like, this dumbass, what is he talking about? So I'm not gonna knock him for that. And also he bigged up Kendrick and other people who might make the same claim.
Well, salute to his humility.
Yes.
I mean, like, salute to his humility. Also, like, with a lot of artists, they always try to pretend like they don't listen to nobody. You know, so I like that the fact that he referenced all these other artists that he feels is great, because a lot of times you say, yo, like, what are you listening to right now? Artists be like, I don't listen to nobody but me and my niggas. Like, I'm only bumping our shit. Like, I don't listen to nobody. So I like the fact that he's embracing that he feels that his peers are in other positions of him, higher than him, and he did say, I still have to learn and grow. That's the biggest part of becoming one of the greatest artists. Being able to be a student of the game and learn and assess, and for him to be having this much success and still feel that way about himself is big to his humility. Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Logic. Keeping it positive.
I still want him to give Jordan Lucas some smoke, though. That nigga was coming at his...
I want to see that, too.
Yeah, he was coming at his wife while they're going through a divorce. I just need that to happen and for him to get that G-Wagon back that he gave her. But that's it.
What do you care about his G-Wagon? He's good. I think he has enough money, Ak.
You know Ak is a pocket watcher, man. Come on.
He's
watching pockets as we speak. Look.
Get the G-Wagon back, my dude.
The G-Wagon back.
All right, so let's talk about our guy, DMX. So unfortunately, he's currently facing up to 5 years in prison for tax evasion. And according to the New York Times, his lawyers are going to try a new sort of strange strategy in this case. Apparently, his attorney plans to play a few of DMX's songs at a sentencing tomorrow so that the judge will, quote, understand him genuinely in his voice. He basically says X may be too emotional to speak for himself. I've heard a lot of DMX songs. I just don't know how this might help. What do you guys think?
You have to try something.
Okay.
Because the government doesn't fucking play. You have to pay your taxes. There's no bankruptcy that will save you from paying your taxes. Not bankruptcy chapter 7, not chapter 13, not chapter 11. People go to jail. Wesley Snipes went to jail. Lauryn Hill, Fat Joe, a host of others. I don't wish jail upon nobody, but depending on how much he owes and whether he's been just blatantly not paying his taxes, there's a good chance he's going to jail. So the lawyer's got to try anything, you know, and if he can't articulate himself, yeah, play some fucking music. Play him thanking God and Jesus, and maybe that'll work. You got to try something, because niggas go to jail for not paying their taxes.
Yeah, with X, I get what they mean by he might not be able to to say it, because X is a very passionate person, and he means well, but if you give him the opportunity to talk, he's not the best at getting his point across, because he only knows how to say shit a certain way and speak it from the heart a certain way.
Yeah.
I don't know about this playing music in the courtroom shit, because
play one of them prayers.
Yeah, but at the same time, play one of the prayers, but the thing is, at the same time, regardless, we talking about this the feds, right? This the federal government. A lot of them don't understand why he's making those type of prayer records. Like in order to understand a DMX prayer, you had to listen to a lot of the album to hear all the bullshit he's going through or the bullshit he's talked about. So he gives you the prayer at the end or at the beginning. Like it's kind of his music was really like chapters, or I don't want to call it a Bible or Quran or nothing like that, but it's in a sense he kind of gave you something in that realm, you know. But I don't think they're gonna understand that. I don't think that's gonna work.
Like a judge.
They're gonna be like, all right, I heard that, but where's the bread at, my nigga?
I think with them doing this step, pretty much they've thrown out everything and the kitchen sink, and they're probably saying this can't hurt us. If anything, it does nothing, and maybe it pulls at the heartstring of the judge that's sitting on the case that's in the sentencing. And you can imagine that they probably already did things where they brought people in to like testify to his character or testify to how much he's needed in his community or in his family, that if he goes away for 5 years, it's gonna really fuck stuff up. And they're probably saying, the judge don't look convinced at all. So let me try this. It's one of those desperate, like, Hail Mary, like full court shots. If it works, if it even knocks a year off, if the judge is like, you know what, I feel like you can be reformed, blah, 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 it's gonna be worth it.
The judge also represents the strong arm of the government, and they have to set an example across the board that nobody gets a fucking pass. There have been people throughout history that have sued the United States government to say, show me where it says I have to pay taxes. And there have been some historical cases where people have tried to make a claim saying, hey, I shouldn't have to pay taxes in this country. But again, that judge represents an entity that says we have to have this money because we can't just let you give us some excuse or because you're a celebrity and get away with not paying your taxes. Again, they sat Wesley Snipes down, and he had a great, just a force behind him with regards to what he had done for charity, philanthropy, and other things, and they sat him down.
Right. The only problem with this is that, when people see this, they think that they're gonna be in there playing niggas that started something, or bring your whole crew. You know what I mean? Like, they're not thinking about exactly. So people gonna make jokes about this shit. That's the only messed up part about it. You know what I mean? But I hope, that, like you said, if they can knock any time off, that it has some sort of success.
Yeah, all that's the silly shit, and we applaud the silly shit. But I think that there's a deeper understanding of paying your taxes that needs to be enforced by way of managers and artists. Because, when artists go broke, who do they look at? They look at management and say, yo, the management robbed me. I didn't know. Nobody didn't tell me. They start looking around to make excuses for why you didn't pay Uncle Sam.
Yeah, I mean, see, for myself, and this is what I do, is like I have young up-and-coming artists, and what I do is before you even get a deal, I'm taking you to a business manager, whether you choose to work with them or not, so that they can explain to you taxes and liabilities and all these things. Because a lot of artists, they come straight off the block. They've never had a job. I was always used to having jobs and the taxes being taken directly out. A lot of artists that, even if you come from the street, but they don't apply that street mindset, because if you're in the street and you're hustling for somebody, you're paying taxes too. Because you getting a certain amount and they're getting a certain amount. But
I'm sorry, one of the most important things is to file your taxes. Even if you haven't worked it out
you got to file it.
With your team, you have to file it.
Yeah. I mean, I file mine. Like, my business manager stays on top of all of that shit for me. I mean, you have to, because it could be detrimental to not just your life, but other people's lives that you take care of. So.
Tax deadline's coming up for 2018.
Absolutely.
Everyone file your taxes. No, seriously though,
Or get an extension.
Get an extension.
Yeah.
We do wish him the best, and hopefully this works out well and he does get some time knocked off, or maybe doesn't get any time. So hot or not, we have a couple new songs for you guys, including the big Tymers back together. I think their first track in over a decade is called Designer Caskets. Let's listen.
With the law, 100,000 in a briefcase, orange Lamborghini, yours with the dealer plates, Tollies, hoes, I'll be right back. Another 100,000 spilling out the backpack. I do the.
All right, Birdman and Manny Fresh back together. This song was originally featured in the Cash Money doc that we saw on Apple Music. What do you guys think?
It's all in 1998. It's all in 1998, but I mean,
Hard shot.
It's not a hard shot. I don't even know when this was made, but it doesn't sound current. And also, if the big Tymers are reuniting, I don't want them to sound like Rich the Kid and Famous Dex on the track. But the beat definitely seemed a little aged. It's decent.
Yo, I mean, I liked hearing the Manny Fresh drums. Those are the Manny Fresh drums, and that was the flow from Get Your Roll On. That was the same exact flow. It does sound dated, I mean, but you gotta remember, like, these dudes is damn near 50 years old. Like, they're not gonna, like you said, you don't wanna have them doing that. I think it's good for what they do, and people in New Orleans, I always mess that up, New Orleans, they're gonna love it. It's traditional.
Nostalgic.
It's them.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, it's like, you always gotta appreciate just them doing music again together. Like,
All this time.
yeah, it's like Manny Fresh, Beatrice, like, you know what I mean? You can never forget those times.
Why aren't we saying it sounds legendary as opposed to dated? We're so quick to dump on the icons and the legends and the pioneers and say, they're dated, they're washed. Why don't we say, hey, it sounds like the foundation of what we know now? I mean, LL Cool J's got a channel coming out on Sirius XM where he's focusing on the foundation and the pillars of hip hop. I think that's a great thing for those who want that in their lives. But Manny Fresh, clearly one of the best who has ever done it. I welcome this. Would I pay for it? I don't know, but I welcome it, and I wouldn't shit on it just saying it sounds dated, they washed. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they're washed. I mean, dated could be taken more than one way. I mean, dated could be saying, like, it sounds like
Dated's
just
negative. When you say it's dated, that's negative, man.
I mean, I hear you. At the same time, like,
I mean, negative or what? The only time I listen to this shit after this is I'm throwing in a throwback playlist. But So that's what I mean by dated. Like when I listen to current sounds, I don't listen to current sounds and then just like get dragged back in time sonically. Yeah. So again, not a bad song. I'm more interested in the business portion of like how everything went with this.
This young man just said this shit. You heard him? He said, listen, this shit.
I say that about everything though.
What's that?
I refer like that's my terminology.
If they called you Manny Fresh and Birdman and said, hey man, we want you to manage us, we going on tour, what would you say?
I do
That's
it.
That's a bag.
Huh? Shit, I do it.
There you go.
But not strictly just for the money. Like Get Your Roll On was one of my favorite songs. Oh Yeah, like Big Tymers have a lot of history. They've never made a whack record.
Classics.
Yeah, they've made classics. I mean,
Classics.
Their albums, you know, they're skits. You know what I mean? The brown gonna keep you down, the white gonna keep you hype. You know what I mean? Like how you supposed, they had to joke with us, they was like, how you supposed to be security guard and you can't even watch yourself because you high all the time. Like they always had fun music and fun moments in music. So if they asked me to do it, hell yeah, I'd do it. Shit, you know how much game I can
Wayno the sellout.
Nah, I ain't no sellout at all. But you know how much game I can get from a Birdman and Manny Fresh?
I don't know if Jay-Z would allow you to do that, bro.
Jay-Z would allow me? Jay-Z's not my father, brother. Like, stop it. No, Jay-Z would allow me to do that.
I would love to go see them in concert.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm trying to stop drinking, but goddamn it, I would drink that night. I'd be in the audience.
I'm in there with you.
Yeah.
I'm in there with you, straight up. See, act like, you know, this shit, it don't mean it, and I'm not, by no means I'm not trying to.
I got some FUBU jeans and all that, man. I put
Stop
it on.
it. Jabos, man, not FUBUs, Jabos.
I'll come through, man.
But the thing is like, at the same time, this is like just us educating the youth. The Big Tymers might not mean the same thing to you that it meant to me. Like when the Big Tymers came out with their first album, I think it was around like 99 or 2000. This is when I'm 16, 17 years old. So I was a teenager the same way how these little kids is on Lil Pump and all that shit. It's gonna be a day when Lil Pump is their age and kids might be like, shit, Lil Pump and Smoke Perp going on a tour, I'm at that shit. And the younger kids will be like, man, I'm not jacking that. Like, I'm not listening to that. So
in 20 years, this is how Ak is gonna feel about this next track.
Right.
He's gonna be so hyped to see that.
I don't want to see, and again, salute to my nigga Birdman, but I don't want to see a Lil Pump in 20 years. If Pump is 16 and look like that now, I don't want to see that nigga in 20 years. No way.
He's gonna look very interested in 20
by then
years.
He is retired happily and he has a full-on house full of Gucci Gang collection set.
Man, I got Lil Pump being a motivational speaker and a fitness guy in 20 years.
If we do want to have a serious conversation though, like who really, other than the obvious, the Drake, the Kendricks, the Queens, who do we project being able to do something like this 20 years later? Or 15 years later. Like,
I've always said that nobody wants to see rappers in Las Vegas doing classics, you know, about, hey, remember back in such and such a day. But these guys have made such an impact. They're such pioneers and legends that if they were to attempt something like that, as crazy as that sounds, a show in Las Vegas, the Big Tymers, and hopefully somebody will take this and run with it, I wouldn't be mad at them. I wouldn't say it's trash, it's washed. You have to preserve the foundation of what hip-hop was, is, and will be.
Plus, they get the bag in Europe. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's not just Vegas. They sell out in Europe like 20 years later.
But to what you were saying about like what artists, I think that a lot of these artists, like I mean, we write a lot of them off like, oh, they'll only be here for 3 years or whatever. But I don't know what Lil Pump may mean to a 14-year-old. You know, like what I like him for might not mean the same shit or what a Smoke Perp or Yachty or any of these
do you
people.
think Fetty Wap could be doing this in 20 years?
I think that is gonna be people who appreciate those 3 or 4 songs he put out.
Why you pick Fetty though?
Yeah, why are we even talking about these mumble rappers that have not even proven that they can last the test of time? The Big Tymers have lasted the test of time. Let's stay focused.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's a rarity. That's why with you making the comparison that there's a 14-year-old right now who's listening to newer music and they might feel that way. I'm like, it's hard for me to sit here and even project that far into the future.
We don't know. I mean, we don't know, but I'm just saying it's like, yo, I said to somebody the other day, I said, you know what? When Crank That Soulja Boy comes on, everybody will always remember it.
Right.
Like that's a part of hip hop. It's no different. I mean, I'm not directly comparing it, but Rob Bass had one song, I Wanna Rock. Whenever I Wanna Rock comes on, I don't give a fuck if you was a little kid, if you was an adult.
Timeless.
It means something when it
Timeless.
comes on. Like, Soulja Boy is not lyrical or nothing like that, but when that song comes on, people will always remember the dance. They'll remember that moment.
You know do this?
No, I don't know how to do the dance, but I remember that time.
After smoking basketball, you gotta do that dance.
I'm not.
That shit
He
was
always
lit.
gotta.
No, you just said let's have a serious conversation. Now you're throwing sucker shit.
He's throwing sucker shit. Sucker shit. Hashtag
Finish
sucker
your point,
shit. from
please.
now.
Let this man finish his
No,
point.
but basically what I was just saying is that, you know, a lot of these records that come out generationally, they're gonna mean something. If Gucci Gang is Pump's biggest song, it's gonna be people who at 24 in 10 years, at 34, that shit is gonna come on and it's still gonna mean something to them. You know, so we don't know. But to your point about the big timers,
Catalog.
history, they've emphasized so much of being such a big piece of what this game is, you know, from the business to the music.
Yeah.
And for them to be able to still put out a record, whether the world receives it, it's not gonna get 100 million streams tomorrow, but for me, I can appreciate that. I don't give a fuck about a stream. Because when I was a kid, I didn't even know anything about sales.
So with all we've just said, hot or nah?
Hot. Well, I gotta hear the whole song.
Ah.
Hot for the idea. I
You
haven't
say
heard the
nah,
whole
right?
song.
You say nah.
This ain't for me. This ain't for me. And by the way,
I can respect that.
I love that hip hop is in a new space where we're seeing people who were their peak was 15 years ago. They could still put out records and it still could be appreciated. They could tour off it and they don't have to just be like, all right, it's not for us. Hip hop, the age range for hip hop is expanding. I love it. So it's not for me, but I ain't gonna call it whack. I just said it sounded dated.
Do you respect the origins of hip hop? I mean, even though
Of course.
a lot of it was corny in the 80s, a lot of it was, you know, wishy-washy. People were trying to find their footing by way of cadence and style. Do you respect the origins?
No, of course. Like,
Who are some of your favorite old school rappers?
man, this guy give me a quiz.
Yeah, you quiz me here all the goddamn time. Who's some of your
I ain't knocking
just
it.
give me two names. Favorite old school. And I don't like the term old
Are
school.
we talking about 90s or are we talking?
Let's go back to the 80s. Let's see how far you can go back.
What? 80s? No one watching them.
80s, Harris.
It's all good. Don't even worry. Maybe this next song is
She
for
saved
you.
you. She saved you.
Bad Baby,
one.
right? Featuring Yachty. It's called Gucci Flip Flops. Let's listen.
This a big watch, diamonds dripping off of the clock. Bad baby, got these bitches bustin' for cash. Do the dash, try to play me, bitch, I'm bustin' your ass. Lot of gun sounds, rolling bust down the why these bitches.
What's going on?
I'm laughing because she be talking some gangster shit, man. Like every song she be talking some gangster shit. On the other song she said, I do not run, I reloaded. She be talking that gangster shit.
Think she's writing these? Is she gonna
No.
continue to get more features like this?
Nah, Atlantic has to stop giving the gangster ghostwriter to this girl, okay? They gotta just give the pop song ghostwriter to her. But you know what? I've always said though, even though I may not respect like how she kind of like just jumped in the door, I do believe that she could kind of ride a beat. Like, she doesn't sound terrible. Like, there's rappers who are really quote unquote rappers and they sound offbeat. They don't stay on track. Like, it seems forced. She delivers it more naturally than some. That's what I'll say.
Delivery is key. I mean, I'm not a fan of this girl at all. But I feel like we was talking about Cardi B before. Whether Cardi B writes her records or not, her delivery is insane. Like, she has great delivery. You give her some shit and she'll knock it out the park. This record, I ain't paying it. That's my, now I'm like, fuck this shit. Like, I mean, I'm cool on this type of shit. You know what
I
mean?
have to ask you respectfully, is that from a racial standpoint?
No.
You just,
No.
you're not fucking
I
with her?
never, whenever I hear artists, depending on the context of the music, like, I'm not looking at her from a racial standpoint. I never was brought up like that. I just don't like the record. Well, I just don't like her speaking super gangster shit. But I do like, I ain't gonna lie, I like the song High Bitch. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
You say you were going to a concert.
I want to see her perform that song because I do like that song. I'm not gonna sit here in front like just because I'm not into her totally
right.
that I can't like a fucking song from her. I do like the song.
You know, I don't really think any of her songs is like really whack. Like, there's people who put out whack records. I don't think they're whack, but they're definitely not for me.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not made for us.
There's an audience of girls like her, and I think we're even struggling to figure out, like, wait, you look like this, you act like this, and you talk like this. Is this all an act? Is this cultural appropriation? Or is this just natural for how a lot of young chicks are coming up in these suburban villages. I don't know where she's from.
I want to jump in. She's riding the beat. She's gotten better. I've been paying attention. I'll even say that where hip hop is right now, it gives these, and I will put a racial spin on this, it gives the white artists more of a chance now than it did in the past. I remember V Nasty and Gucci Mane doing a track together. And I said, I don't know. And V Nasty had trouble riding the beat, but she did what she did well. Salute to the white girl mob from the past. But I think she's riding the beat. I think she's going to improve. I like to see white kids in hip hop doing more. They are the biggest consumers of it. I ain't mad at her. I mean, I can't say I want to reward bad behavior. I'm not saying she should be on the fucking XXL freshman class cover, but I'm not mad at the track. She's spitting that gangster shit. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't give a fuck who's writing for her. If she's not writing herself, she's doing it well.
I mean, shit. She got a couple of assault charges and she's on probation.
Well, the thing is that also, let's not act like it's white people that don't come from the gutter. Like, I know a lot of white boys that come from the streets for real.
I've already said that they're just as much of a part as this.
Absolutely.
Part of this.
The thing is that we're always funny about who we pick and choose when it comes to race, who we actually want to fuck with. The problem is that we put Eminem at once upon a time, put him as like the top person of rap when it comes to being white.
Eminem the bad?
No, but I'm just talking about like what white rappers like people get on G-Eazy a lot because he doesn't rap like Eminem, but I don't think G-Eazy is a bad rapper. We always accept shit a certain way depending upon who it's coming from. Some people are too white and some people aren't, how can I say it? Some people, they try to make some people be too white where they're like, oh, they're just running with our culture. We don't fuck with this shit. And then some people aren't white enough for white America to accept them. Like my man Millie's, we put his shit up. He talks that gangster shit and he's a gangster and he has a tough time breaking through because he actually is who he says he is.
Favorite white rapper?
Favorite white rapper all time, I say Eminem. Eminem.
Okay.
Eminem.
Bhad Bhabie. and I'm waiting on Woe Vicky. I've said so before. I'm waiting on Woe Vicky to pop off.
Were you in the white girl mob?
What's that?
Were you in the mob?
Was I in the mob? In what way?
You fuck with V Nasty on?
What's that?
Like V Nasty and all them?
The hit or miss is nothing. I pay attention. And my ex-girlfriend looks like Little Debbie, so yeah, I paid attention to the white girl mob.
Yo. All right, guys, that's our show for today. I guess you guys will be at her concert soon.
Yes,
no, you're
I'm
checking out the
going
big
to the
timers
concert.
while you goes to Bhad Bhabie.
I'm going to Bhad Bhabie and the big time.
Hey, listen, man. If you have Bhad Bhabie saying I'm an old head, right? which I am glad that she could call me that because she just turned 15. Apparently her birthday was 2 days ago. She gonna look at y'all and be like, where the fuck these dinosaurs come at my show?
Because everybody.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right.
No, you wanna know why? Because the people who signed her are old heads. The people that, listen, it takes more than one signature to finalize a deal. So you got the,
Church.
It takes Julie, who was up at Atlantic, used to run Def Jam. It takes my man Mike Kaiser. It takes Mike Karen. And they're all older than me.
No. But clearly when she's saying, like, and she says a lot on social media.
Yeah.
She said about Charlamagne. Anybody who doesn't like her music, she kind of separates and say, you guys are old. I don't make music for y'all.
She don't.
You get me?
She don't.
So, I mean, when y'all show up, she might be like, I definitely don't make music for y'all too. Why y'all here?
I mean, but
that's why I always say I'm nobody's fan. I can pay attention objectively and watch what you're doing and watch you grow. And if you last the test of time, salute to you. If you don't, fuck out of here. Let the next person come through.
And I don't care if a person calls me an old head, because I'm not disconnected. I'll never be disconnected, because I never, even though she's 15 and she doesn't make music for me, I don't forget what it's like to be 15.
By the way, just to put in context, a 16-year-old is an old head to her. Like, you know what I mean? She's one of the people that probably count 15 and a quarter.
When I was 15, you
and a half.
know how old 20 sounded? When I was 15, the Locks wasn't making music for my mother and my father. You know what I mean? Like, they was making music for me, for young niggas that was outside in the streets. So I don't expect her to be like, oh shit, Wayno, that's on Everyday Struggles at my shit. I'm gonna be in the, I'm not even gonna be in the, I'm gonna be in the cut. Be in the cut, chilling.
Salute to XXL. I know they're not dumb enough to put her on the freshman list, but I'm glad that they are using her for clickbait like a lot of the other rappers. Salute to y'all, yo.
All right, happy belated birthday, Bhad Bhabie.
Bhad Bhabie.
Bobby. I'm still not sure if I'm saying it right.
Cash me outside. How about
Cash
that?
me
girl?
outside, girl.
That's what I
Happy
call it.
outside,
Happy
baby.
belated. That's our show. See you guys tomorrow
many
on Everyday
names.
Struggle.